Hello, folks. Tonight we are examining Gulden Draak Ale, which is produced by Van Steenberge of Belgium. Hold on a second. Get this box. Jordan of Canada, reviewing Under Influence, is supposed to join me. He said he was going to join me. He's not here yet. I waited 3 minutes. I decided I set it up for 6:30. I need to get it going. So let's open this barley wine up. Open up this barley wine. So, like I said, a product of Belgium, Brewery Van Steenberge. It's part of the global, imported by the Global Beer Network, which was established by Johnny Francione, I believe his name is, in 1994. He and his wife to import exotic, at the time, now more common, Belgian beers into America. So here it is, a brown squat neck bottle, typical Belgian style bottle, with an adhesive plastic wrap around it to make it look maybe like ceramic type thing, like the Delirium Tremens does. That series. Gulden Draak. I do have a keychain. Should have brought that out to show you. They show a glass that's got a stem on it. It's not too much like this, but this is the one I have that's closest to what they're showing on their website. And then Johnny was actually using a tall tulip glass, which is similar to what I have with the Modelo, the Negro Modelo, those Negro, those tall tulip glasses that they sent me. Can't remember where I got that keychain. I know someone gave it to me. I know someone gave it to me. Well, the keychain looks just like the dragon, but I don't use it. It's kind of actually hard to use on the bottles. I have another keychain. I keep another bottle opener keychain that I keep on my keys, which was given to me by Anheuser-Busch InBev. And no, they did not single me out to give me a shock top keychain. I don't have any special relationship with them. I went to a college baseball game, and that night it was sponsored by Champagne Beverages, which is a southeastern Louisiana Anheuser-Busch distributor, and they were handing out different things. You might be able to hear the crackle. Now look at this thick. Oh, what color is that? The lighting is not so good. It's becoming dark. Off-white head, almost into the cream color, spongy. And there's a clear, mostly under this light, ruby type appearance. Yes, now I'm looking at the playback. It's more like, so you might be able to see the light hitting that, giving it that ruby. From that appearance, you're probably seeing it more as a plum because you're not having the light shining right at you. Do see some pretty ferocious bubble streams racing up the glass, and I don't see any sediment. If I remember correctly, this beer was introduced around 1982. It's not that old. The brewery is from like 1784, from the days of the Holy Roman Empire. And Belgium was actually, at that time, known as the Austrian Netherlands. It's an interesting story. The days of the Holy Roman Empire, and days of the Holy Roman Empire, it was the Spanish Netherlands. We're talking about the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. That was the Spanish Netherlands for such a long time. But the Protestant Reformation occurred, wars broke out, and what we call Belgium and Luxembourg today were not keen to break away from the king, who was the King of Spain. So they were Catholic, and they stayed loyal to the Habsburgs. And so what happened? The Netherlands was split into the United Netherlands up there, which we call the Kingdom of the Netherlands today, established as a kingdom in 1815, and the Spanish Netherlands. And we're not getting into a history lesson. We're not getting into that. But at the turn of the 1600s to 1700s, a very bad war broke out all across Europe. It was called the War of the Spanish Succession, and Spain and France lost. So Spain was forced to give that territory over to Austria in 1713 at the Treaty of Utrecht. And it remained the Austrian Netherlands until the outbreak of the French Revolution, well, through the early part of that outbreak. And then after the war was settled in 1815, it was annexed to the Netherlands, and all of that became the United Netherlands. But they didn't get along because they were Protestant and they were Catholic in the South, and they had another war in the 1830s, and that's how Belgium was established in the early 1830s. And Luxembourg was split. Well, okay, we're not getting on this all. Luxembourg became independent in 1891, by the way, because the King of the Netherlands was still the King of Luxembourg, but they had a secession issue because there's a law in Luxembourg at the time that a woman could not be the ruler. So they split it off into their own grand duchy. Enough of the history lesson. Okay. Here is the pack. Bornum, the two Bornums, the two Gulden Draaks, and the two Piraat. Pirate. I bought this at Dorgnac's grocery store for $17.99 plus tax. These are living beers, and Johnny Francione, he only imports living beers. He said, drink living beer, beers that are fermented in the bottle. And I am looking at the Gulden Draak, the Van Steenberge website. Oh, by the way, Beer Advocate says that this beer, which was first posted on their website in 2001, it's a 94, outstanding, an A+. The bros say it's 98, a world-class beer. So they're saying it's above an A+. It's world-class, which means superior, perfect, right? Essentially a perfect beer. But they're still only saying 98 out of 100. Gulden Draak on rate beer is getting 98 overall and 98 in the style. So this is one of the highest rated beers on the planet, but yet you can get 6 of them for $17.99. That's $3 a bottle plus tax. That's an incredible value. Okay. Ooh. You don't want to spill any of it. It's such a lively beer. Now, a little bit of it spilling down the sides. Okay. They say on their website, let's go back to their website. Okay, Jordan, you're missing it. The Golden Dragon is on, it was brought over from Constantinople to Belgium. Okay, that's on a tower. We're not getting into all that. You say, if you give me any more history lesson. Okay, here's how they describe it. It is the complex taste with hints of caramel, roasted malt, and coffee in combination with the creamy hazel head. Hazel, yeah, okay. That makes it unique. It is a beer that is worthy of its name, Golden Dragon. Except it's not golden. Gulden Draak is a high fermentation beer with secondary fermentation. For the secondary fermentation, wine yeast is used. This also contributes to the unparalleled taste. And of course, a unique beer deserves a unique presentation. That's why Gulden Draak is presented in a white bottle. The white bottle, the black banner, the Golden Dragon, and the red letters constitute a stylish result that has no equal among many Belgian special beers. Okay, We got a little residue in here, and I'm going to switch it loose. That is true. This beer is in many ways unequaled. This is the third time or the fourth time I've had it. This can be drunk as an aperitif or dessert, or whenever you have time to sit back and relax, like right now. Oh, there we go. Hello, sir, from Canada.
Hello, sir, from Louisiana.
Okay, I'm giving a description off their website, so I'm going to finish that real fast. It's particularly suited as a dessert beer, especially in combination with dark chocolate. Oh, no doubt. Tip.
Oh, are you drinking the Gulden Draak?
Yes, the regular Gulden Draak, not the 1000. Okay.
Drank that a couple days ago.
Oh, I was confused. Which one are we supposed to be doing?
I believe Piraat.
Oh, I thought you said you had. I thought you said you drank both the Piraats.
No, I drank both the Gulden Draaks.
Oh, I feel like a fool. Well, hey, you know what? We're just gonna have to talk about this one, and then we're gonna do the other one together on another occasion. What do you think?
Well, it's still ripe on my memory. I really enjoyed the Gulden Draak and the Gulden Draak 9000 quite a lot. Quality beers for sure.
Yeah. Alcohol, burnt malt, and coffee. Okay, it says very full in the mouth with touches of chocolate, caramel, and alcohol aftertaste. Bittersweet and very long. Now let's talk about this, and I apologize for the confusion. And I had not been drinking, folks. Okay, except for a light beer. A light beer. Yeah, you did the comparison between the two. Now,
yes.
It's that when you're looking at it under light, it's more reddish, isn't it? And almost.
Yeah, I found it like red with a tinge of like mahogany brown, kind of, you know, like a deep brown.
Now here, it's more of a plum, what you're seeing, but that lively head. Now, I swished and poured the residue in, and it did cloud it up a little bit. Yeah, it clouded it up because it was clear. I could see through the glass. Now it's like an opaque, glowing plum. Now
yeah, it's a really beautiful looking beer. It almost had a purpley gleam when I had it. Of course, sun was shining right at me, so.
Yeah, it's getting late now. Okay. I gave a long, drawn-out history of the beer, and I'm sure people wanted to physically assault me. But I was given a history of the country of Belgium. And to me, I like to put it in context, you know. But context. But this beer, you can see why it's getting a world-class score, right? An outstanding.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, aroma, they're saying they're using wine yeast in the second fermentation.
Really?
That's what it said right there on the website. And it's such a.
It did have very vinous qualities for sure. It had like that tannic kind of tartness for sure that you get in lots of red wines.
Yeah, wine yeast is used, and it has, oh, what a rich fruity aroma. I'm telling you what, folks, if you have never had this, look, for $17.99 plus tax, I bought a 6-pack. These are all like dynamite beers. Oh, if I did not have self-control, and if I didn't have to go to work tomorrow, I would drink the next one with you, but that could be a really treacherous thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
oh, these Belgian beers, or the strong Belgian beers, can really sneak up on a guy, that's for sure.
Pick up the alcohol, right? But it's not super strong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fruitiness, like you said, vinous qualities, and the maltiness, and like tannic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like tea, like tea.
Yeah. What I always get from Gulden Draak is like a slightly overripe kind of blueberry taste off of it.
Blueberry.
Yeah, I always get like this fresh blueberry taste, and I absolutely adore it.
Okay, I can go along with that, and it's got a pretty good amount of hop bitterness to balance out the. Now, what are you drinking right now?
I'm drinking the Piraat.
Heck, I wish we could have drank that one together.
Yeah.
Because I have one in the fridge. But
Yeah.
I can't drink two in one night. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I could, but I better not. Now,
luckily, I'm off work for the rest of the week, so I can.
before you talk about the Piraat, this beer, and what I'll do at Piraat is make another video. This beer on another night. The mouthfeel is not so heavy on the Gulden Draak. I don't know if you can remember. It's almost like a medium mouthfeel. You know, somebody might say 10.5%. Oh, I bet that barley wine is so heavy. No.
No, it's a really easy drinking ale. I found it extremely dangerous, you know, like I could just drink like 2 or 3 of those easily, stand up and fall over, you know.
Yeah.
It's that.
It gives you a little burn at the end of the sip, right? So it's like a kind of a long finish, right? It's like you're drinking it, and then it's like here, like, whoop. Hey, you like that? And I'm saying I do like it. It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet.
Yeah.
People who are watching this video, it's really one of those. I have a book, 300 Beers to Try Before You Die. It's got to be in that book. This is one of those beers to me, and I don't think I'm overplaying it. This is one of those beers you've got to have before you die if you are a beer enthusiast. Now, that's all I'm going to say about the Gulden Draak. It's just a dynamite product. Now, you're doing the Piraat, and I had the same. Now, they've changed the label on Piraat. They used to have more of a cartoon label, remember?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now it's more of a sophisticated label. But before you start talking about it, I have this box here, and it says, and y'all had the same type box? Similar type thing?
Kind of similar, but they always change it up for, here you go. They always change it up for different countries, I think.
Yeah, it is different.
And then the other side has the other products. It's always like that.
Yeah, this is showing all 6 on either side. Now,
yeah.
I like what it says about Piraat. This light. Now, you drink it and tell the audience if it's matching up with the brewer's description. This light amber Piraat, with its full white head, pleasantly overwhelms you with a bitter, spiced, malted, and alcoholic aromatic mix. I've been making a special emphasis on that, trying to find out if what the brewer describes matches what I taste, and it normally does match up. Go ahead, you have the floor now.
All right, let's see here. Got to find the English. I can't read Dutch or French. So this light amber Piraat, with its full white head, pleasantly overwhelms you with a bitter spiced malt and alcoholic aroma. Yeah, I definitely get like a white pepper kind of spiciness from it. But I'm getting like a big plum, pear, and apple, like a sweet apple. It smells really, really nice. I'm getting hints of malt in the background, but mainly a like Belgian-y kind of yeast going on. But yeah, really spicy characters for sure.
Now, let's
really dry mouthfeel, which I like a lot. Medium to light mouthfeel, but really dry. But it's definitely got a heft to it, a slight tinge of alcohol, but really, really drinkable beer. Almost sessionable.
Wow, wait a minute.
If you had nothing to do the day after, yeah, in my opinion, it'd be sessionable.
Jordan, these are the type of beers that sometimes you don't drink them, they drink you.
Yep. Yeah. When I did that Gulden Draak side by side, it was pretty dangerous. Not something you do every night. That's for sure.
Yeah, we are warning people. You got to drink these things with trepidation.
Yeah.
10.5%. This is no joke. And Piraat is 10.5%. This is not something to play around with. I mean, you see those, you and I sometimes we dabble in those like horrible high gravity lagers, like what's one of them, Axe Head, that are right around the same AB. You see, to me, you couldn't really get in trouble with those because they're almost you can't hardly stand to even smell it, much less drink it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
how are you gonna get in trouble with it?
I bought the big 710 mil of it, and I could hardly get through even like the first 250 mils. I was having a really hard time. I ended up pouring it because it's absolute trash. But stuff like this, you could drink a lot of before realizing what you'd done.
Right. With the things like the Axe Head, and I watched that video, and I said to myself when I was watching it, I know the feeling because I drank this hard. And look, it's almost like a mental trauma. I drank that whole, and I didn't pour it out. I drank that whole Axe Head. I said, oh man. From the infamous Minhas Craft Brewery. Yeah, right. And I had the can. I kept the can for my collection because it is made in America. The one we get is made in Wisconsin in America, United States.
Yeah. Well, see,
I could not keep the can in my collection because every time I looked at it, I had like flashbacks.
Yeah. Every time I go into the liquor store now and I see it, I'm just start dry heaving a bit.
Now imagine, folks, drinking a beer that makes you have flashbacks, like a bad LSD trip. Not that I've ever, and I can promise you, I've never sampled lysergic acid diethylamide. But it's got to be the same type of experience. Like you just remember, like, oh, I remember this. It's like I have post-traumatic stress from this beer. But this thing here, oh man, you could never have anything but pleasant memories of the beer. Now you might have unpleasant memories of what happened to you after you drank too much of it.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like Axe Head. I've drank like 3 bombers before of like 10% alcohol imperial stout, and I was fine. But just drinking that half a cup or whatever I drank of the Axe Head, I could feel my body, like I just felt terrible. And yeah, but onwards to the Van Steenberge beers. I just pronounced that about as Canadian as I could, but
sounds about like the way I would say it, Van Steenberge. Well, I said Van Steenberge. I don't know how to say it.
Well,
European.
I'm not Dutch, but I am like a kind of German dialect of German, and we pronounce it like von Steenberg, kind of. But
yeah, that's right. In German, von is lord, like a noble, and in Dutch, van is a lord. It means Lord Steenberge, and in English it's Lord, and in German it's von Hindenburg.
Yeah, and in my dialect, we have a word fun, and it means, it's spelt the same way except pronounced different. It just means of, like the brewery of the Steenbergs, like that in English. It's strange, but
What is the word again?
fun, like kind of like fun, sort of.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, these guys here, man, they put out some fantastic beer. And
Oh yeah.
I would
Yep.
say, you know, we can't just keep saying, "Oh, great, it's great, it's great, it's wonderful."
Yeah.
No, we're beating a dead horse. Go out there, and we do not work for the Global Beer Network, and we don't work for von Steenberge, but we're saying this is one of the best values in beer, I think. I'm sick of paying $20 for a bomber that tastes like mud.
Well, out here, it's strange because Belgian beer is cheaper here than in the United States, but this pack was about twice as much as you paid.
Oh,
Well, I guess translated to American dollars, it'd be about 23 American, I guess. But
still $5 more.
yeah, I guess. And I'm living all the way up north, you know, so
Almost into the Yukon territory.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, almost into the Northwest territories.
Yeah, I'm closer to Alaska than I am to Montana, let's just say. It's kind of depressing.
Oh, well, somebody has to live up with that.
I say $5 Canadian for a bottle of Piraat. Awesome deal, in my opinion. Just amazing deal. Because regular beer, such as Budweiser, is right around $2.50 Canadian. So, yeah, it's $15 for a 6-pack of Budweiser. I could get this pack for twice as much, and I'd rather do that, honestly.
Yeah. Most stores around here, you can get Budweiser, a 12-pack for about, I saw it on sale last week at a place for $9.99 for a 12-pack of Budweiser. Most stores, it'll be about $10.99. But then you can get a 6-pack of this for $17.99, and you're going into a different realm. You know, not to disparage Budweiser. I'm not here to disparage Budweiser, but I'm saying,
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm saying if you're a regular beer drinker, and a major portion of the people that watch my videos, I'm not trying to get subs, and I'm not trying to get views. As a matter of fact, if you watch all of my videos, not once have I ever, and I think this is the first time I've ever brought up this topic, I've never actually asked for anybody to like or sub. I always say I would appreciate it if you made comments, because what's the point of getting on here if you're not going to discuss the products, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying that I'm bringing this back to the main point. A big majority of the people that watch I don't know if it's a majority, but maybe of the common commenters are regular beer drinkers. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you're like a Budweiser drinker or a Miller High Life drinker, or in Canada it might be a Carling Black Label or a Labatt Blue or a Molson Canadian, there's nothing wrong with what you're drinking. Okay, I understand you enjoy it, and you should enjoy it if that's what you like. But you might want to experiment sometimes and try something different. If you don't like it, don't go back to it. But this is one of the things that you might want to dabble in, and I think you'd be very pleased with it.
Yeah. Well, what got me into, well, you know, I'm a big craft beer guy, and I really like my craft beer.
As evidenced by the background.
Sorry?
As evidenced by your background. I'm looking
at yeah, Belgian beer got me into it. I started with budget beer. I got into the more well-known beers, and then really fast went from like Belgian beer to everything else. But I don't drink these beers as much as I should, but I always enjoy them every time I have them. And I think that's a big compliment, because like no matter how much time passes, these beers are always going to be gems. Like, they're always going to be good. Even like 30 years later, these beers are still rated high, because they have quality control, and they have amazing flavor, and it's just really, really good stuff.
Oh, and what you're saying is they're not like held hostage by fads and trends.
Yeah, exactly. They're traditional, but they're amazing.
Yeah,
There's a reason. There's a reason they're still around. Is because people love it, and yeah, people always go back to it no matter what.
yeah, and a person really could get into doing beer reviews, and not everybody is going to do like you and I and go make videos.
Yeah,
Let's just say they wanted to do beer reviews like on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, write written reviews, which, there's millions of written reviews, so who in the world is going to read all of them? But you could make a hobby only focusing on these barley wine type beers, right? You know what I mean?
well,
like you could just do that. I'm not saying, I'm not recommending that.
oh, there's so many different beers now that you could. Yeah, for sure.
Have you noticed that when you taste barley wines, there's such a big differentiation in the flavors and the mouthfeel and the aromas with barley wines?
Yep. Well, there's Belgian barley wines, there's American, there's English, of course, and stuff like that. And they all use different types of hops, and they all use different types of malts, and there's just hundreds of different flavors you can get out of one kind of beer. It's great. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. And I've had people tell me, well, I tried a barley wine and I hated it, but they only tried like one.
Well,
you should try different ones because it's not the same. Okay, what?
The first time I had a barley wine, I did not like it at all, and now I really enjoy them. They're not my favorite, and I find oftentimes they're too boozy for what they're worth, but for the most part, really nice style. It's just really rare here. Out here, they brew mainly imperial stouts. Like for the big beers, lots and lots of imperial stouts, and that just so happens to be my favorite. So,
I mean, don't even get me started. I love imperial stouts. Like, for instance, the Founders Russian Imperial Stout. That beer is a dynamite beer. And I had that.
We can't get Founders here, man, and it pains me.
Oh, that is really a shame.
But Old Rasputin, which you're reviewing live soon. Yeah, that we can get out here. I just can't get it right now for some reason. I would love to join you for that, but yeah, can't get my hands on it. That is a really nice beer.
I'd love to join us. And look, I was at the store today when I made a little road trip, and they had it on the shelf for $2.35. Old Rasputin for a single. And it's like 100 out of 100 on all the major reviewing sites.
Yeah, like
beer is so good.
That's like I've lately, if you follow my channel,
I do.
Yeah, I've been reviewing all these really expensive beers, and the truth is, you can get just as good stuff for about a quarter of the price,
Right, and that's a problem because.
But I gotta try everything. That's the thing.
Yeah, you better live a million years. That's not possible.
That's the plan.
I have people. I used to be stressed out about it. Like 10 years ago, I would have people telling me, "Did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try this?" And they were like, hit me up constantly. This was before I even did video reviews. And I was like, "How can I try all this?" And then I started saying, "Wait a minute, that's not possible." It's like 1,000 new beer brands come on the market every day. You cannot try everything. And then I got people hitting me up saying, "Let's trade. I'll send you this and you send me that." And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I appreciate you want to send me beer. Okay, I appreciate that. I do not want to spend a long time packing up beers, sending them out. There's no incentive for me to do this. I can go down to New Orleans and I can go to this store right here and just get a beer every day, a different beer every day, 365 days a year, and do a video. I don't need, and I appreciate the people wanting to do this, but it is impossible. It cannot be done. You might think you're going to review every beer in the world. It is not going to happen. So I'm not stressed out anymore. I appreciate it.
Think about it. Let's say you did 3 video reviews every day, or you know what, let's go 5 video reviews every day.
Excessive.
Which is a lot, which is quite a lot. Every single day, that's maybe 1,600 beer reviews a year. That's not even a dent in the market.
No, that's like scraping a little dead skin off the top of your index finger.
Yeah, and the amount of money you'd be spending as well. You better be a trust fund kid, you know.
Right. Well, I think some of the beer reviewers are, but and no knock against them, because if I had their money, I'd be going to North Korea buying beers too. But I'm saying, even in that case, but even in that case, there's still only so much you can do. So if you're one of these people that are getting into beer reviewing, don't let the pressure get to you. And also, don't let negativity get to you, because there are going to be some people that are going to like try to rain on your parade big time right when you get into it. Like, the first thing they're going to say is not this. They're not going to say, wow, I'm really glad you're getting into beer reviewing. It's really exciting. Let's talk about styles and let's explore together. More than likely, they're going to say, well, you're an effing idiot. And then they're going to discourage you. Don't let that happen. You know, those kind of people are out there, and you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I've had my channel for a while now, and I don't promote myself at all. I mean, I share it, but that's about it. And I've only had like less than a handful of bad comments, because I think most of my viewers are like friends and like people I've gotten to know, you know, or are getting to know, stuff like that.
And I don't get too many bad comments, honestly.
Well, that's also because you review the bad comments I've gotten have all been from stuff like Lucky Lager and more macro kinds of beers, you know, because some people live for this certain kind of beer, you know. There's dedicated Budweiser or Labatt drinkers out there, and if you're
and they take it like you're insulting their family.
Yeah, like you're insulting their religion and stuff, you know, like because it basically is.
Yeah, that's true. So if Budweiser or Labatt or Lucky Lager is your idol, and then somebody might point out some deficits with the beer, then it's only natural you're going to react in an insane way. But no, but you run across people in the beer community, people that are on Facebook and social media that are just really negative, and it's like their life is dedicated to giving people a hard time. But luckily,
I think my least favorite part is the people who think if you didn't stand in line like 8 hours to get 2 bottles of this really rare beer, it's not worth drinking, you know? Like those kind of guys.
Yeah, I can't entertain that kind of stuff. But mostly, you know, we're gonna wrap it up. But
yeah,
I'm like you. The big, great majority of the interaction has been super positive. Okay.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I don't want people to get discouraged, and I hate to see people that are new to the thing getting beat down.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, they're saying, you know, hey, screw this. I didn't get beat down when I was drinking Budweiser. I had my little circle of friends, and we were all having a good time. Now I'm dipping into this different swimming pool, and I got people busting my chops because I asked a few questions. It's like, no, this is not the right approach. So I'm just warning people that there are some sharks out there in the ocean.
Yeah,
Most
and
of
just
what you're gonna run across is not sharks.
in any walk of life, there's most of the people you meet are going to be good people, but it's just the bad ones that stand out, you know. And it's just like that with the beer community, with the music community, anything like that. And yeah,
Right.
you just gotta ignore them.
Right.
You'll never see them in your life. Like, who cares? Just ignore them.
Right. Because we do a lot of music appreciation on social media, and you do run into that too. I'm glad you brought that up, because you know you'll have these people they're like, really. And look, I do not make fun of bands that people like.
Yeah,
even though I might, even though when they make the post, when they'll put the post up there, I'm like wanting to put a gun to my head.
Yeah.
This is their favorite group.
I'm sure you don't agree with my kind of music, like death metal, black metal, but even in that community, even though we like the same bands, oh, you don't have this album? How dare you not have this album? Or, oh, you bought an album that's limited to less than like 3 copies? You're selling out.
My heavy metal appreciation goes about as deep as Black Sabbath, Mob Rules.
Oh, I love Sabbath, but
and, Iron Maiden, Killers, Judas Priest, Caress of Steel. But you know, you get people that they'll get on a group and they'll say, "Oh man, I really like Poison," and people will say, "Poison? You moron!" It's like, wait a minute. If the guy likes Poison, okay, he likes them, all right? And I listened to some of those songs and I said to myself, do I like it? Well, no. Do I hate it? Perhaps. But I listened to it. I gave it a chance. And I'm not going to rip the guy. I'll just say, okay, I never heard that song before. But I'm not going to go jump on his case and say, damn you for listening to Poison. You know, it's like, okay, let the people like, if you want to listen to Arrow Through the Forehead, Graveyard, death metal, well, that's your business. I'm just picking on you, you know. I'm doing what I'm preaching against, you know. But anyway.
You know,
But you know, I have the right attitude about it.
It's almost not even music what I listen to, but you know what? I love it. So
it's like Blue Ridge Metal Machine music. All right, but anyway, thank you, folks.
I've got my last sip of Piraat going, and
do it on air. Do it on.
Good to the last drop, folks. Last drop, Piraat. Pick it up. Van Steenberge's collection. Pick it up.
It's awesome. It is really awesome.
They're all like A- to A+ beers, in my opinion.
Right,
really good.
Right. The worst you could say about any of the beers in this collection is that it's excellent.
Yeah, exactly. The worst I could say is it's very good, which is something I wish I could always say.
That is a good sign.